Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the UES Frontier, watching the stars drift past on the main screen. The ship had been traveling through space for 3 months now, looking for new planets and resources, and it was quiet work, but Jake liked it that way. His crew of 200 people worked well together, and they had not seen any trouble in a long time. Dr. Amy Rodriguez sat at her science station, checking the readings from the asteroid field they were passing through. She was looking for rare metals that Earth needed. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls as she scanned rock after rock. Most of them were just ordinary stone and ice, but sometimes they found something valuable. "Captain, I'm getting some interesting readings from Asteroid Cluster 7, Amy said, not looking up from her screen. "There might be platinum deposits in there." Jake nodded and walked over to her station. "How much are we talking about?" "Could be enough to make this whole trip worth it," Amy replied. "Should I send a probe to get a closer look?" Before Jake could answer, the ship's alarm started beeping. Lieutenant Commander Ryan Brooks looked up from his tactical station with a worried expression. "Captain, we've got a contact. Something big just appeared on our sensors." Jake moved quickly to Ryan's station. On the tactical display, a large object showed up as a bright dot. It was much bigger than their ship, and had a strange shape that did not look like anything they had seen before. "Where did it come from?" Jake asked. "I don't know, sir. It just appeared. No engine signatures, no energy buildup. 1 second empty space, the next second this thing was there." Danny Walsh, the communications officer, turned in his chair. "Captain, should I try to make contact?" Jake thought for a moment. This was the kind of situation they had trained for but hoped they would never face. First contact with an alien species. Yes, but be careful. Use the standard peaceful contact protocols. Danny began broadcasting mathematical sequences and simple pictures that showed Earth's location and peaceful intentions. The signals went out into space toward the strange ship. Lisa Campbell, the chief engineer, called up from the engine room. "Captain, their ship is giving off energy readings I've never seen before. Whatever powers that thing, it's way beyond our technology." On the main screen, the alien ship became visible as they got closer. It looked like it was made of crystal, with smooth curves and sharp angles that caught the light from nearby stars. It was beautiful, but also frightening. The ship was at least 3 times bigger than the Frontier. "Any response to our signals?" Jake asked Danny. "Nothing yet, sir. They're not answering on any frequency." Dr. Amy Rodriguez was studying the alien ship with her sensors. "Captain, their whole material is unlike anything in our database. It seems to be some kind of living crystal. The energy patterns are incredible." Suddenly, Ryan's tactical board lit up with warning lights. "Captain, they're scanning us. It's a very powerful scan, much stronger than anything we can do." Jake felt his stomach tighten. "Right. What kind of scan?" "It's going right through our shields like they're not even there. They're looking at our hull, our engines, our weapons. But that's not all." Ryan's voice got quieter. "They're scanning our crew, too. Biological scans. They're reading our life signs, our brain patterns, everything." Dr. Ben Taylor, the ship's doctor, called from his medical station. "Captain, I'm seeing something strange. The scan is affecting our crew's stress levels, but not in the way you'd expect. Instead of becoming more afraid, everyone seems to be getting more alert and focused." Jake could feel it too. His heart was beating faster, but his mind was getting clearer. His muscles felt ready for action. It was like the feeling he got before a big football game back in college. Stronger. Amy looked up from her science station with wide eyes. "Captain, this scan is incredibly detailed. They're not just looking at our ship and bodies. They're analyzing our psychology, our behavior patterns, our culture. Somehow they're reading information about our entire species." "How is that possible?" Jake asked. "I don't know, but they're downloading massive amounts of data. Information. About Earth, about human history, about how we think and act. It's like they're creating a complete profile of humanity." Lisa's voice came over the intercom again. "Captain, whatever they're doing, it's using a lot of power. I can see energy spikes all through their ship. This isn't a casual look. They're doing a full military analysis." Jake made a decision. "Danny, increase the power on our peaceful contact signals. Let them know we want to talk, not fight." "I'm trying, sir, but they're not responding at all. It's like they can't hear us or they don't care." On the main screen, the crystal ship hung in space like a giant jewel. It was perfectly still. but Jake could feel the power of the scan washing over his ship. Every few seconds, Ryan's tactical display showed new penetration attempts as the aliens dug deeper into their systems. "How long can our computer security hold out?" Jake asked. "Not long," Ryan replied. "They're using scanning technology that's decades ahead of ours. They'll have access to our main computer within minutes." Dr. Rodriguez made a disturbing discovery. "Captain, I'm analyzing their scan pattern. This isn't exploration or scientific curiosity. This is the kind of detailed analysis you do before an attack. They're looking for weaknesses." Jake felt his crew's eyes on him. 200 people depending on his decisions. His training told him to be diplomatic, to try for peace. But every instinct in his body was telling him that these aliens were not here to make friends. Kate Phillips to bridge came a voice over the intercom. Kate was their intelligence officer. "Go ahead, Kate." "Captain, I've been studying their ship design and energy patterns. This technology matches some theoretical models we had for advanced warships. I think we're looking at a military vessel, not an exploration ship." The scan continued, and Jake could see his crew getting more tense. But it was a strange kind of tension. Everyone looked ready to fight, not ready to run. Dr. Taylor was right. Instead of making them afraid, the alien scan was making them dangerous. "Captain," Amy said quietly, "I think we need to assume these aliens are not friendly. Based on what they're learning about us, they might not stay friendly for long." Jake nodded. The peaceful first contact he had hoped for was not going to happen. Whatever these aliens wanted, they were taking it by force, and they were about to learn something about humans that might surprise them. The scan continued, reaching deeper into their ship and into the minds of his crew. Jake wondered what the aliens would think when they saw what humans were really like. Commander Zix-9 stood in the center of the crystal bridge, watching as data flowed across the holographic displays around him. The scanning of the small alien vessel was going exactly as planned. Soon they would have all the information they needed about this new species, and then they could decide whether to destroy them or make them slaves. Science. Analyst Krell 4 approached the commander with a data tablet in his four-fingered hands. "Commander, the initial biological scans are complete. Aliens call themselves humans, and they come from a planet they call Earth." "Good. Are they a threat to the hegemony?" Sneen asked, without turning around. He had done this many times before. Most species were weak and easy to control. "Well, sir, that is what I need to discuss with you. The results are very unusual." Krell 4 sounded worried, which was strange. Science analysts were not supposed to show emotion. Zix-9 finally turned to look at him. "Explain." Krell 4 activated his tablet and projected the data into the air between them. "First, let me show you their home planet. Earth has gravity that is 1.5 times stronger than our standard. Most species in the galaxy live on planets with gravity similar to ours." "That is interesting, but not alarming," Zix-9 said. "There is more, sir. Their atmosphere contains 21% oxygen. A concentration would be poisonous to most of our member species, but humans breathe it naturally." Zix-9 frowned. High gravity and toxic air were signs of a dangerous world, but many species evolved on harsh planets. Continue. "Their star gives off much more radiation than most inhabited worlds can handle. The radiation levels on Earth would kill most galactic species within days. But humans have lived there for hundreds of thousands of years." Now Zix-9 was paying attention. "Show me their evolution data." Krell 4 brought up new images. "Sir, humans evolved as hunters. Not just any hunters. They are what their scientists call persistence hunters. They chase their prey for hours or even days until the prey dies from exhaustion. That is disturbing," Zix-9 admitted. Most intelligent species had evolved from prey animals or peaceful plant eaters. Predators rarely develop the cooperation needed for space travel. It gets worse, sir. Look at their physical capabilities." The display showed human anatomy. Their bodies are built for endurance. They can run for hours without stopping. They can go days without food or water. But they can survive injuries that would kill most species. Medical Officer Vex 2 joined the conversation. She had been listening from her station nearby. "Commander, I have reviewed their medical data. These humans have something they call an adrenaline response." "Explain that." "When humans face danger or stress, their bodies release chemicals that make them stronger, faster, and less sensitive to pain. Most species become weaker when frightened. Humans become more dangerous. Zix9 felt a chill run through his body. You were saying that when we threaten them, they become harder to kill? Yes, sir, and there is something else. The psychological profiles show that humans form emotional bonds with other species very easily, even bond with their natural enemies. They have made pets out of creatures that used to hunt them. Krell4 added more data to the display. Sir, their history shows that they have been fighting wars for their entire existence as a species. Not just occasional conflicts like most races, constant warfare. They have developed thousands of different ways to kill each other, and they keep inventing new ones. But they achieved spaceflight, Zix9 said. That requires cooperation.
Yes, sir.
And that might be the most frightening thing about them. They can fight brutal wars against each other, then work together perfectly when facing an outside threat. Their pack loyalty instincts are incredibly strong. Vex 2 brought up psychological analysis charts. Commander, I have never seen anything like their mental patterns. When most species encounter something unknown, they become cautious and try to avoid conflict. Humans do the opposite. They study the unknown thing and try to figure out how to defeat it. What do you mean? Zix9 asked, though he was starting to understand. Even as we scan them, they are scanning us back. Their primitive sensors cannot penetrate our shields, but they are trying. More than that, they are learning from our scan. Every probe we send into their ship teaches them something about our technology. Krell4 nodded. The humans are problem solvers, sir. When they encounter a challenge, they do not give up. They keep trying different solutions until something works. Their history is full of examples where they overcame impossible odds through pure stubbornness. Zix9 looked at the data with growing alarm. What about their current behavior? How are they reacting to our scan? That is the most disturbing part, sir, Vex 2 said. Most species would be terrified by now. They would either try to flee or surrender. The humans are doing neither. Are they doing? They're getting ready to fight us, sir. Their stress hormones are increasing, but not in a fear pattern. They are showing excitement. Combat excitement. They are looking forward to a battle with us. Zix9 stared at the data in disbelief. They want to fight us. Our ship is 3 times larger than theirs. Our technology is far superior. Yes, sir, but they do not seem to care about that. According to their psychological profiles, humans often perform their best when facing superior enemies. They call it being an underdog, and it seems to motivate them. Krell4 brought up tactical analysis. Sir, I have been studying their ship design. It is primitive compared to ours, but it shows some interesting features. They have built it for fighting. Multiple weapon systems, heavy armor, and backup systems for every critical component. Many species build warships, Zix9 said. Yes, sir, but this is not a warship. This is an exploration vessel. They build their exploration ships like warships. It suggests they expect to find trouble wherever they go. Vex 2 added her observations. Commander, I think we need to understand what kind of species we are dealing with. These humans have survived on a death world by becoming apex predators. They have learned to work together while maintaining their killer instincts. And now they have space travel. What are you suggesting? Zix9 asked, though he was beginning to understand. Sir, I think we have found something the hegemony has never encountered before. Species that is both intelligent enough for advanced technology and dangerous enough to use it effectively. They are not like the peaceful plant eaters we usually conquer. Krell4 looked at his commander with worried eyes. Sir, what should we do? Our orders are to scan new species and determine if they should be destroyed or enslaved. Zix9 looked at the human ship on the main display. It looked so small and harmless, but the data said otherwise. For the first time in his career, he was not sure if following orders was a good idea. Continue the scan, he said finally. I need to know everything about these humans before we make any decisions. But deep inside, Zix9 was starting to think that scanning the human ship might have. It's been a very big mistake. Dr. Ben Taylor stared at the medical readings on his screen with confusion. Something strange was happening to the crew, and it was not what he expected. The alien scan had been going on for 20 minutes now, and every human on the ship was Changing this does not make sense, he said to himself, then pressed the communication button. Captain Morrison to medical bay, please? Jake arrived within 2 minutes, moving faster than usual. When Ben saw him, he understood why the readings were so strange. The captain looked more alert than he had ever seen him. His eyes were bright and focused, and he moved like a person ready for action. What have you found, Doc? Jake asked. Captain, look at these readings. Every person on this ship is showing elevated heart rate, increased muscle tension, and higher brain activity. But these are not fear responses. This is something else. Jake looked at the medical data. What do you think it means? I think the alien scan is triggering something in our biology, something old. Our bodies think we are being hunted, and they are preparing us to fight back. Before Jake could respond, Amy Rodriguez called over the intercom. Captain, please come to the science lab immediately. I have found something important. Jake and Ben hurried to the science lab, where Amy was working with 3 other scientists. Charts and data covered every screen in the room. What is it, Amy? Jake asked. Captain, I have been analyzing the alien scan, and I found something incredible. The scan goes both ways. What do you mean? Amy pointed to her main screen. While they are scanning us, their scanning beam is carrying information back to our sensors. I have been able to learn about their ship, their technology, and even some things about their biology. Ben leaned forward. That is fascinating. What have you learned? A lot. Their ship is made of a crystal-like material that is incredibly strong, but has a specific weakness. The crystal vibrates at a certain frequency, and if we can match that frequency, we can disrupt their entire hull structure. Jake felt his heart beat faster. Are you saying we can hurt their ship? More than that, Captain? I think we can disable it completely if we modify our weapons to the right frequency. Kate Phillips entered the lab carrying a data pad. Captain, I've been studying their energy patterns and ship design. I think I know what kind of aliens we are dealing with. Tell me. Kate activated her pad and showed them images of the alien ship's construction. This ship design matches theoretical models for something called a hegemony fleet. Based on the energy signatures and construction patterns, I believe these aliens are part of a large empire that conquers other species. Amy nodded. That would explain why their scan is so detailed. They are not trying to communicate with us. They are studying us like we are a new type of weapon they need to understand. Ben looked worried. If they are part of a conquering empire, then we might be in serious trouble. One ship against an entire alien fleet. Jake felt something strange inside him. Instead of being scared by this news, he felt excited. It was like the feeling he used to get before a difficult challenge. Kate, how many ships do you think they have in their fleet? Based on the power signatures I am detecting, there could be 12 ships nearby. Maybe more. Good, Jake said, surprising everyone. Then we will have plenty of targets. Dr. Taylor stared at his captain. Sir, did you just say good? We are facing a superior alien fleet with technology beyond ours? Jake realized how he sounded and tried to explain. I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like we can handle this. We just need to be smart about it. Amy was studying her scanner readings. Captain, there is something else. I have been monitoring their communication signals, and I think they are having problems with their command structure. What kind of problems? Their communications are very rigid and formal. Everything goes through a chain of command with no flexibility. It is like they cannot make decisions without permission from higher authority. Lisa Campbell called from the engineering section. Captain, I have been working on modifications to our weapon systems based on Dr. Rodriguez's frequency analysis. I think I can have them ready in 30 minutes. Jake pressed the communication button. All senior staff to the conference room. In 5 minutes, when everyone gathered, Jake looked around the table at his officers. Ryan Brooks looked ready for battle. Amy Rodriguez was excited about her scientific discoveries. Lisa Campbell was eager to test her modifications. Kate Phillips was studying intelligence data. Dr. Taylor still looked worried, but even he seemed more alert than usual. Here is what we know, Jake began. These aliens are part of a conquering empire. They scan other species to learn their weaknesses, then they either destroy them or make them slaves. They have superior technology, more ships, and they think we are just another weak species. Danny Walsh raised his hand. Captain, should we try to send a message to Earth? Warn them about this threat? Not yet, Danny. We are too far away, and the message would take months to reach Earth. By then it might be too late. Ryan leaned forward. So what do we do, sir? Jake stood up and walked to the front of the room. We do what humans have always done when facing a superior enemy. We learn their weaknesses. We adapt our tactics, and we fight smart instead of fighting fair. Amy smiled. Captain, I have identified 17 different weaknesses in their ship design. Their crystal hull, their energy distribution system, their communication array. If we hit them in the right places, we can disable their ship. Elisa nodded. And I have figured out how to modify our weapons to exploit those weaknesses. We might not be able to destroy them, but we can definitely hurt them. Kate looked up from her intelligence reports. Captain, I have been thinking about their rigid command structure. If we can disrupt their communications, they might not be able to coordinate their response effectively. Jake felt proud of his crew. Instead of being frightened by superior enemies, they were solving problems and finding ways to fight back. This was what humans did best. Ben, how is the crew handling all this? Jake asked. Dr. Taylor looked at his medical readings. Captain, I have never seen anything like it. Everyone on this ship is operating at peak performance. It is like the alien threat has awakened something in our biology. We are not just ready to fight. We want to fight. Jake nodded. Let us give them a fight they will never forget. Amy, I want you to continue scanning their ship and finding weaknesses. Lisa, finish those weapon modifications. Kate, see if you can find a way to jam their communications. Ryan, prepare tactical plans for engaging multiple targets. As his officers left to carry out their orders, Jake remained in the conference room for a moment. He thought about what Dr. Taylor had said. The alien scan had awakened something in them. Something old and dangerous. The aliens had scanned a human ship hoping to find weaknesses. Instead, they had awakened a ship full of predators. Commander Zix9 stared at the data streaming across his displays with growing panic. The scan of the human ship was complete, but the results were not what he had expected. Science analyst Krellfor approached him with another data tablet, and his expression was even more worried than before. Commander, we have a serious problem, Krellfor said quietly. What now? Zix9 asked, though he was not sure he wanted to know. The humans are scanning us back. Somehow they are using our own scanning beam to learn about our ship and technology. Zix9 felt his stomach drop. That is impossible. Our technology is primitive compared to ours. Yes, sir, but they are not using their technology. They are using ours. They have figured out how to reverse our scan and gather information about us. Medical Officer Vex 2 joined them at the command station. Commander, there is something else. The humans are not just learning about our technology, they are adapting to it in real time. What do you mean? I mean they are making changes to their ship systems while we watch. They are modifying their weapons, adjusting their shields, and reconfiguring their computers. They are preparing to fight us. Zix9 looked at the human ship on the main screen. It still looked small and harmless, but now he knew better. Long until we can contact Hegemony Command. At least 6 hours, sir, Krellfor replied. We cannot wait that long. These humans are becoming more dangerous every minute. Zix9 made a decision that went against all his training. Prepare to withdraw from this system, sir. Krellfor looked shocked. Our orders are to scan and evaluate new species. Our orders. Assume we are dealing with normal species. These humans are not normal. Before anyone could respond, their communication system activated. A message was coming from the human ship. The voice was calm but firm, and it spoke in perfect hegemony. Language. Attention, alien vessel. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the human ship U.S. Frontier. We know you have been studying us, and we have been studying you. We have a message for you. Zix9 felt ice in his veins. Humans had learned their language from the scan data and were now speaking to them directly. Captain Morrison continued. His message? We know what you are. We know about your empire and how you conquer other species. We know about your fleet and your weapons. Most importantly, we know your weaknesses. On the bridge of the frontier, Jake Morrison stood in front of the main communication screen. His crew had worked for 2 hours to decode the alien language and prepare this message. Around him, his officers waited at their stations, ready for whatever came next. We have identified 17 critical weaknesses in your ship design, Jake continued. We have modified our weapons to exploit these weaknesses. We could destroy your ship right now if we wanted to. Commander Zixnan wanted to order an attack, but something stopped him. The human's voice was not threatening or angry, it was matter-of-fact, like someone explaining a simple truth. However, Jake said, we'd prefer to give you a choice. You can withdraw from this system and never return. Or you can stay and learn why humans survived on a death world long enough to reach the stars. To prove his point, Jake nodded to Lisa Campbell. The engineer activated her modified weapons and fired a precise shot at the alien ship. The beam hit exactly where Amy Rodriguez had calculated, striking a non-critical system that controlled their external sensors. The crystal ship shuddered as the human weapon found its target. Warning lights flashed across the alien bridge as systems failed. The humans had hit them with surgical precision, disabling their sensors without causing serious damage. That was a warning shot, Jake announced. The next one will not be, Commander. Zixnan stared at his damage reports in disbelief. Awoo. The humans had struck through their shields as if they were not there. Their primitive weapons had found the exact frequency needed to disrupt the crystal hull. Sir Krell4 whispered, they could have destroyed us with that shot. They chose not to. Oh, why would they show mercy? Zixnan asked. Medical Officer Vex 2 looked at her psychological analysis. Sir, I think they are trying to send a message to our entire empire. They want us to tell other hegemony ships about them. Jake Morrison's voice came through their speakers again. We know you are not the only ship in your fleet. We know there are others like you conquering peaceful species across the galaxy. Here is what you are going to do. Looking around at his crew, every one of them was ready for battle, but they were also smart enough to know that fighting was not always the best answer. You are going to return to your empire and tell them about humanity. You are going to warn them that humans are not like the other species you have conquered. We do not surrender, we do not run away, and we do not give up. When you threaten us, we become more dangerous, not less. Amy Rodriguez had been monitoring the alien ship's communication systems. She detected transmissions being sent to other vessels in the area. The aliens were calling for help. Captain, she said quietly, they are contacting other ships in their fleet. Jake smiled. Good, let them come. The more ships that see what happens here, the better. On the alien bridge, Zixnan received confirmation that 5 more hegemony vessels were moving toward their location. But instead of feeling relieved, he felt more worried. The humans had known this would happen. They wanted to face multiple ships. Sir Krell4 said, perhaps we should listen to them. Everything they have said so far has been true. Jake Morrison's final message came through loud and clear. We are going to give you one more demonstration of human capabilities. Then you and your fleet are going to leave this system and never come back. If you choose to fight us instead, we will make sure that every free species in this galaxy learns how to defeat you. Lisa Campbell fired again, this time hitting 3 different targets simultaneously. Each shot was perfectly aimed, disabling the alien ship's weapons, engines, and communication array without destroying the ship itself. The crystal vessel went dark and began drifting in space. Commander Zixnan realized that the humans could have destroyed them at any time. They had chosen to disable the ship instead. When the other hegemony ships arrived, they found their commander's vessel helpless, and the small human ship waiting calmly nearby. Jake Morrison broadcast his message to all of them at once. You have seen what one human ship can do to your most advanced vessel. Now imagine what an entire human fleet could do. Imagine what humanity could teach other species about fighting. Your empire. One by one, the alien ships powered down their weapons. Commander Zixnan made the hardest decision of his career. He ordered all hegemony vessels to withdraw from the system immediately. As the alien fleet retreated, Jake Morrison made one final log entry. First contact with hostile alien species resulted in successful deterrence. No human casualties. Enemy. Fleet withdrawn. Note for future reference: being human is apparently the best defense against galactic bullies. The UES Frontier continued its mission among the stars, but now the crew knew they were not alone in the universe. More importantly, they knew that being human meant never having to back down from a fight, even against impossible odds, across the galaxy. A new message spread through the hegemony fleet networks. Species designated human. Threat level. Maximum. Recommendation: avoid at all costs.